Matt, thank you so much for being here. And this is a faith series. So we're starting this new series here at NewsNation to share some of the ways that faith is in business, is in education, is a part of so many Americans' lives. It's just intrinsic to who they are. And in reading your story of how you and all of your buddies got together to start this company, why was it something that you needed to be a part of? Pray.com, giving back, being more in touch with spirituality.
Yeah, great question. It's because my mom was a 15-year-old girl that walked into a local community church a block away from an abortion clinic. And the pastor gave her some advice and connected her to a family that was trying to have children for 10 years and couldn't. And so I got adopted because of these two pastors that were friends. And I just felt that when I had the opportunity to meet Steve and give back, I wanted to merge my passion with my skill. And I viewed this as an opportunity that God had given me to use my talents for the kingdom, to be able to give back and help people all over the world at scale.
I think it's fascinating. You mentioned Steve, the original founder, and all of you co-founding with him, and the fact that there was tragedy that preceded the building of this company. Was that why he leaned into prayer, or was he already somebody of faith?
No, Steve grew up to a single Jewish mom in welfare, and his mom and dad came to him separately when he was 13 years old and said, "Hey, do you want to be Catholic or do you want to be Jewish?" And Steve was like, "I want to play football." So he didn't really have any faith going into it until his business partner tragically passed away in a plane crash. And while Steve was leading this 150-person company with his business partner passing away, a former Navy SEAL actually came and helped Steve and gave him a sermon, an audio sermon from a pastor in Texas. And it changed Steve's life, and he became a Christian. And that's when he wanted to help people who are just like him, who are dealing with tragedy in their lives, dealing with depression, anxiety, some of these other things. And that's the seed that planted Pray.com, with Steve's business partner passing away.
And there are other members of the team. You know, one worked for years for Merrill Lynch, another was involved in a lot of trouble as a youth, but went to middle school with Steve, and so he connected. Yeah. I just thought it was fascinating. I mean, a lot of times with entrepreneurs, even looking at your own LinkedIn page, I think it says Christian businessmen.
Yep, absolutely.
Why was it important for you to post Christian businessmen on your LinkedIn account?
You know, I wanted people to know that I look at things a little bit differently. I come at them from a different perspective, that, you know, I'm a Christian first. It's God, family, then business for me. And so putting God first is just putting that Christian businessman first. And then everybody knows that's the perspective that I'm coming into it with.
And in terms of this company, I know that you all have seen some studies or data back that prayer actually helps mental health. How?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've surveyed all of the people within Pray.com, and 88% say that they've experienced less stress, less anxiety, better sleep, just from doing our Bible bedtime stories or daily devotionals in the morning. So we are currently actually proving that with clinical trials with Harvard and Biola and Berkeley and a few other universities. And they haven't been published yet, but they're coming out very soon. They're very positive on how we've been able to help people's physical bodies, not just their spiritual life and their mental health, but help actually their physical bodies as well through the power of prayer.
Have you all seen any data as to how many people joined Pray.com, the app, since the pandemic? Did you see a rise in numbers? Did you see a drop?
Yeah, great question. We've seen over 1,500% growth since the pandemic. We now are at 16 million downloads of the Pray.com app, 1.5 billion listening minutes of content. And just like that former Navy SEAL shared an audio sermon with Steve, we've had over 140 million shares of content to other people. And the reviews that we get when people get shared content, it's absolutely remarkable. Normal apps in the App Store get reviews on bugs or problems or things that are happening, and we get those too. But some of the 5-star reviews, if you just go look through the App Store, there was a police officer in Ohio who was going to commit suicide, and a family member shared him the Pray.com app, and he chose life over suicide. And we hear stories like that every single day. People that are in the hospital dealing with their child who's got a life-ending disease, and they're playing Pray.com's kids' Bible stories, or reading daily devotionals, and it's helping people through all of those life events or things in life that are happening that can really try us,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I think that's a universal human experience, is that you're looking for help in a situation where you feel helpless, or you know that no person can really give you the answer. But do you think that there's been a shift in culture? Because, I mean, prayer has been happening since the dawn of time. But now, because of the internet, people are going very public about prayer. There's your app, there's Hallow. There are people who are influencers who are sharing just prayers every single day on TikTok and Instagram. What do you think changed?
I think culture is changing. The pandemic has changed things as well. Just it's becoming more socially acceptable, I would say. But there are literally 6 billion people who wake up every morning and pray on the planet, and like you said, that's been happening since the dawn of time. So I think, honestly, our app is bringing more awareness to prayer, and we're not a replacement for prayer. We're a reminder to pray. We're helping you track your prayers and your prayer habit, and how that helps your life. And we think by doing that and having shares, that is helping shift culture. I mean, the pandemic, though, as well, I think has shifted culture too, where it's more acceptable for people to say, yeah, look, I'm praying. I don't want to die. Maybe I have a disease, maybe I'm going through something, or maybe something's happening in my life, but it's becoming more socially acceptable for people to talk about their spiritual health, their mental health, and the things that are going on in their lives.
And do you think that younger people are more apt to use pray.com than they would maybe to walk into a church initially? Or was that one particular reason why you guys decided to start it online?
Yeah, great. Yeah, absolutely. So younger people, the funny thing is our parents and even myself, we would go and we'd drive around and find the church that fit us the best. But younger people these days, they're going online, they're going to apps, they're going to pray.com, they're going to YouTube. They want to try things out. They want it to come to them first. And so absolutely, that's part of the reason why we launched pray.com, is because if you can order a sandwich and a car, you should be able to order your favorite Bible stories to you anytime that you want, and be able to do daily devotionals and help your spiritual health.
What do you think is the biggest misconception about prayer.com or pray.com?
The biggest misconception I would say is, that it's prayer and action, right? That prayer alone doesn't change things. And I think from some of these studies that we've done, from the scientific community that we've reached out to help us prove that, I think the biggest misconception is prayer is a spiritual thing, and it doesn't involve science, right? It doesn't involve some of these things that help the gray matter density of your brain, or some of the things that we've been able to see through our clinical trials. I think that's the biggest misconception. We believe God invented science, right? And that was all through him. So your body is also by God's design. So talking to your creator through prayer, having that personal relationship should be able to benefit you, and we should be able to prove it.
And it looks though, and please just confirm with me, that pray.com is essentially an accountability so that you stay faithful to your prayer regimen or your daily prayer, and also a resource to build your faith, to strengthen your prayer.
Yeah, absolutely. We're the #1 app for daily prayer and faith-based content. So you can track your prayer streak, which is what we call it, develop that daily habit of prayer. You can also dive deeper into the Bible. You can find some of the best leaders and pastors in America giving you advice and sermons from the Bible. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with pray.com.
2 more questions. One is, How did you aggregate? How did you get the attention? I know you have celebrities like James Earl Jones, you know, the voice of God himself, on your
Yeah.
app. How did you get so much attention to this particular company?
You know, who doesn't want to hear James Earl Jones read Revelations, right? When he's Darth Vader. So Darth Vader can read you the Bible. It's awesome. We've done a lot of incredible things. I would say the main thing that we've done is created this social sharing engine where people want to share our daily devotionals. They want to share the sleep Bible stories that we've created. They want to share some of this cinematic audio content that we've created around the Bible. And so that's really driving a massive audience for us of people coming into the app. You know, we see people sharing 20 times a day with their family members or friends. And with everything that's going on in the world, they're trying to help their family members or friends through prayer, through daily devotionals, through Bible content.
What would you say differentiates Pray.com from any other app?
Yeah, from any of the other apps out there, I would say we're the only app that has built this daily devotional habit that helps you develop your prayer life. We also are the only app that has aggregated all of these different incredible pastors from across the United States from lots of different perspectives. So we are inclusive over being exclusive. And so we'll have Baptist pastors, Presbyterian pastors, Methodist pastors, Southern Baptists. You know, you can find everything that you would want in Pray.com and see things from different perspectives. So I would say that's what differentiates us.
Okay, and then just one follow-up and we're done. In terms of young people, like I consider all of you who founded this company still very young. I don't even know your ages, but I'm just guessing. And you are Christians and you are businessmen. What do you say to those who are watching about what you see happening, shifting in tech, shifting in science, shifting in entrepreneurship that is perhaps opening a door to the faith community?
I would say it's okay to have margin and mission. It's okay to have profit and purpose. Doing things of excellence and quality is what people are craving right now. So having both of those dynamics, it's okay. And when you're helping people, you're always going to have a big audience, and you're always going to have an incredible product when you have your customers who are sharing and helping you distribute your product. And so I would say it's totally fine to do both as an entrepreneur.
So you really are, what is it, an evangelist? There's like tech evangelists, there's real evangelists. I don't even know. Do you know what kind of hyphen you are?
You know, I don't know what they would call me these days, but I can tell you I'm an evangelist for Jesus Christ. I'm an evangelist for prayer, and I believe everybody should be doing it. So
we thank you, Matt Potter, for being here from Pray.com. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Honored and blessed. Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.